Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikum salam warahmatullah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. So, without further ado, we will start the question. To start, could you share a bit about your academic and professional journey with us?
Okay, Bismillah. My name is Muhammad Saifuddin bin Muhammad Rehan. I was born and raised. I was born in the UK actually. I was raised in Selangor, and my bachelor degree was in Uni 10, University Tenaga Nasional, and then I did my master degree in UTM, Skudai, and then I did my PhD in France. So that's basically my academic
In
background.
France.
In France, yes.
Wow, interesting. So, if you could go back in time, is there anything you would do differently in your career?
In my career.
Yeah.
Okay, several things. I'm not sure because I'm thankful of my journey, even though it's not ideal. It led me to here, but certain things that I've learned in my own journey that if anyone else want to, for example, become a lecturer, become an academician, because early on I always try to take the easiest way. For example, in my final year project, I do the thing that seems the easiest one.
I see.
But later on, I noticed that it doesn't really help me with when I did my master.
Right.
And then in my master, I choose I want the easiest way. I just took by course. I didn't do by research. So it's the easier option. But then it doesn't prepare me for the real PhD. So sometimes taking the easy way out early on doesn't help you later that
Right.
much. I struggle that much that I extended my PhD. So
Right.
so that's in hindsight, I would say maybe I would reconsider if I have to do it again.
Right, yeah, that's understandable. Thank you so much for that insight. And what are some qualities or skills you believe every student should develop?
Okay, in reality, especially if you are talking about student in university, right?
Yeah, university.
Because there are some students that once they graduate, they comment like this. They say, whatever we learn in the class there's not that much that we actually apply. However, if we want to be fair, if the university have to custom it for each and every industry, then there will be so many different kuliah, and right, it is not feasible. What we have to learn is how to learn actually, how to learn itself. So okay, we have a subject matter, how to master this. If you master that methodology, then wherever you go, inshallah you can adapt, you know how to learn. It's not just I know this fact, I want to apply it. No, it's because every field, every industry have their own thing.
That's true.
As long as you know how to learn about something, inshallah you will do fine. But if you're just dependent on others, you want lecture note for spot question, you do not have in the real world spot question. So you have to know how to learn this.
I truly understand. So learn for the knowledge, but not for grades or anything else. Right. So what are some challenges you faced in your role and how did you overcome them?
In my role as a lecturer,
academician.
an academician,
Yeah.
the challenges. Okay, on one hand, I think what I perceive as a job of an academician or lecturer is more of a like teacher, perhaps. However, when I step into the role, it's not just teaching and marking and grading and preparing for lecture. There's the research part, there's securing for grant part, etc. There's a lot more that if you are not mentally ready for what exactly it is, you come with a different expectation, it become a challenge that can be quite like so. Before you go into anything, it's best that you know what exactly is that. That's number one. Number two, even though I understand, I want to teach, then there are real challenges in terms of perhaps we come from different generation where we have different backgrounds. So how come I can understand this, but it's difficult to share with this new generation? That's one thing.
Yes.
Of course, there's another thing that we also cannot force new generation to learn how like we probably have, because it's the age of internet, etc., and ChatGPT, etc., right? So there are both challenges in terms of you have to have the fundamentals, but we also have to adapt with the real world. So those are two challenges simultaneously.
Yeah, because we live in two different worlds and everything changes. So Could you tell us about the mission and vision of the Muslim Youth Leadership Mentoring?
Okay, Muslim Youth Leadership Mentoring, or MYLM, was established when we see students, secondary school students near around IIM, where after we did actually initially a program with one school, and then afterwards we have a chat with the teachers, and then we noticed that there are real challenges with, especially back then, it's the students that are affected by the pandemic and the lockdown, and they have 2 years of online, etc. Right?
Yeah.
And the teacher says that when they come to school back, it's a different type of kids, unlike before, right? In terms of interaction, in terms of language, in terms of etc. Right? And then we do one-off program, and then when we discuss, is it really helpful if you just do one-off? And one of the outcome is that it should be a continuous progressing program. Hence, we come up with the MYLM, so that is continuous throughout the year, and then those students that we have catered last year, we will continue on for their development. So that's how it started and until now.
Nice. That's very interesting. How and why was the MYLM club established? What inspired its formation? I think you previously answered that.
Yeah.
So what are the key programs or activities organized by the club, and how do they benefit the youth in general?
Okay, there are two groups that we can say benefit from the program. One is the school children themselves, when we come with the university student to share that, you can aim higher, you can have ambition of going to university, etc. So that's one category. Especially some group of the students that we cater in the school, they don't even like to study one thing, or even have the motivation to why do we have to learn, etc. Right? Especially in nowadays, I think traditionally when I grew up, parents still can, I don't know, want to say brainwash, but you have ambition of engineer, doctor. But now, no, I just want to be an influencer.
That's true. That's true.
So that's interesting dynamic. That's one thing. Okay, so that's one group that hopefully benefit. The other one is, I think, students in the university. Because as a Muslim, we have to actually benefit others and not just ourselves. So in our busyness of studying, etc., we should also learn how to manage all of this responsibility with responsibility with society as well. So by this program, then we will learn how to cater to the society, as well as managing the two actually.
So impacting others mostly. Interesting. So what are the main challenges faced by the Muslim youth today generally, and how does the MYLM club address them?
Okay, there are two groups as I mentioned. We'll start with the university student. I think this is my personal view. It might be biased. It might be, based on my limited observation. I think lack of, I don't know, is it ambition? Ambition beyond career, I would say. Because as a Muslim, as have said, we should have actually ambition to be not just live career, retire, and then we should have some impact. High ambition, especially in terms of impacting others, have positive, etc. Amal jariah, etc. Right? So so to trigger that ambition, I think is one of the critical thing that the Ummah needs now. And when we go to the younger generation, I think if you can start younger, meaning even before coming to university, they also have high motivation of doing things, etc. Hopefully that will help in the long run.
Yes, definitely. And how do you think the MYLM club addresses those challenges that the youth face?
So for the university student, we offer the platform basically to come together, to plan for the younger youth, and then to do something. And hopefully across the board, the responsibility will be, gradually you will see bigger and bigger things in terms of responsibility. Some started as a mentor, just interact with students, and then become a head bureau, and then become the project manager for one particular school, etc. Right? So you can directly impact others. You can have, quote unquote, a growth in terms of your ability to manage people, manage team, manage project, etc. For the younger students, hopefully if we can spark motivation and ambition, because I'm not sure about other country, but Malaysia we have several news article about not many secondary school actually have ambition to even go to university. So hopefully we
Really?
can have a positive impact
Yeah,
there.
have changed that. So, in your view, how has the MYLM Club contributed to the personal and professional growth of its members? This is more about the people that work inside the
Yeah.
club.
Alhamdulillah, so far, the team actually have from the initial, and then we have grew until now, right? So there are division that was not there in the beginning. For example, this even
The program,
yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
because when we want to impact and have a huge impact, for example, right? Initially we see a problem or issue or something that we need to cater, we go to that problem, and then we will realize that if only 5 people or 10 people addressing this, in the bigger scheme, we need more. So we have to have a bigger team. And then we also should have impact to those who do not physically come, but maybe scrolling to their media, social media, etc.
Okay, yeah.
How to impact that. So that's why suddenly we have a data team, and then we have media, we have broadcast, etc. And it will continue to grow, inshallah.
Yeah,
So that's how we see how we develop to actually cater to bigger and bigger
nice,
impact,
nice.
inshallah.
So that you can have a more, wider impact on people.
Impact, yes. Inshallah.
So, can you share a memorable story of a mentee or mentor who greatly benefited from the club? Story, if you remember.
Okay, I'm not sure whether he or she like or prefer me to specify the name or not, but I'm
It's
just
fine
saying, I mentioned there's a certain person. She actually used to join at the beginning as a mentor, a facilitator, right? So she interacted with the student, etc. But at the same time, she also volunteered to become a member of the media unit. So she took photos of the event,
Yeah,
etc.
okay.
And then in her second semester, something one thing lead to another, and she actually become the head of the media. And then she have to learn, because it's one thing to know how to handle a camera.
Yes.
It's another thing to handle a group of people who would like to do that.
Yes.
And then now she already become the head of many unit, because one unit under her is broadcasting, and then viral marketing, etc. Right?
Yeah. Many
So after 3 semesters, she's already in that position, and I'm hopefully that before she graduated, the growth that she will experience in terms of learning how to manage a bigger and bigger team, that will hopefully impact her capacity primarily, and based on that, hopefully she can also impact the society at large in a bigger scale in the future, inshallah.
Mashallah. So, do you think MYLM should collaborate with other organizations, institutions, or clubs to enhance its programs?
In general, yes. I think anyone should, or any initiative should actually always see the positive side of
Yes.
collaborating, share of experience, share of success story, etc., etc. So any type of collaboration, any type of joint venture, any type of sharing of experience to learn from another, all of those things I think will be helpful one another, and the impact is for the ummah.
Yes.
As well, inshallah.
Yeah, definitely. So the bigger, the better, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So as an advisor, what has been the most rewarding part of your involvement with the MYLM Club?
Firstly, I think from zero until what it is now, that is, I'm not sure whether the word is rewarding, but it's alhamdulillah, it's good to see, right? And I'm hopeful for the future. Secondly, there are many individuals, just like the sister I mentioned now, several members that have joined without initially see the long term project, but over the time have him or her personal growth throughout the project, and I'm hopeful that once they graduated, they actually know how to start from zero until something.
Yes.
Inshallah. So that's I think hopefully rewarding. And for me personally, the greatest reward that I hope for any of my involvement is the ajr in the akhirah, right? So I personally believe that the best of investment that I can do is to grow talent, meaning that because if I do just event event comes and it goes.
Yes.
But if I develop talent, even though I don't see them after this, they graduate and do something elsewhere. Hopefully, inshallah, the ajari will always.
So it's like a sadaqah jariyah. Exactly.
So,
that is so true. Thank you so much for that. So our last question here is: what advice would you give the Muslim youth who want to become effective leaders in their community?
Okay. Number one, you have to have vision, I think, because if you just work and work and work without knowing where are we heading or what's the big aim at the end,
Yes.
We will face challenges that can easily bring you down if you do not have the bigger aim. Number one. Number two, for me, tadabbur of Al-Quran is fundamental, because in the Quran there's always a motivation of what is awaiting in the hereafter if you do good, etc. So even though it's challenging, even though and then we read the story of Prophet that they are the ones that face the most of challenges and inshallah have the most of reward. So we see it, more challenges, inshallah, if I can persevere, more reward. So it will keep you actually continue to be motivated, etc. So number two. Number three, no one can do big things alone.
Yes.
And even all the prophets have like Muhajirin and Ansar, Hawariyun, etc. Right? So they do not just like Superman one person show.
Yeah.
So and we can see the Sahaba like Abu Bakar, Umar, they have potential, but Rasulullah SAW build them, grow them into fulfilling their potential.
Yes.
So I think those are the things that if we combine all of those, we have clear vision. Of course, go back to Allah and whatever we need, and in terms of our qiyam, etc., dua, and as well as we have to know how to develop the team
in community.
In community, inshallah.
Together. Wow, that was very insightful. Mostly the fact that we have to try to do better in this life, but at the same time in the hereafter, so we can, succeed in this life and the hereafter. Thank you so much, Doctor, for everything. It was very helpful and fruitful.
Inshallah.
So, jazakumullah khair for everything. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.